I want to walk through a Newsweek hit piece against myself and others with Michael Badnarik to illustrate the fact that the establishment is shooting blanks. They still think this is 30 years ago where they control reality. Like Karl Rove said to a group of reporters. We're going back to Michael in a moment. In fact, I'll tell you that story here in just a moment. But before we do that, I want to tell you about a few of the sponsors that have made today's radio show possible. One of them is the unbelievably fantastic that I use in my office and home, Ecola Blue 28 and the Ecola Blue 30. Those are the smaller units. One puts it through 7 filters, the other through 12. I have the 7 filter units. Reverse osmosis, carbon, UV filter, and it grabs the water out of the air. You cannot get cleaner, better water. EcolaBlue.com. It's a moisture evaporator. It just grabs it right out of the air and then purifies it. And it's got a little high-tech computer system, hot and cold water, you name it. Just check it out at ECOLOBLUE.com. EcolaBlue.com, or give them a call, 800-691-6043, 800-691-6043, or keep drinking the government water, or I guess trust the bottled water that's had so many problems. And plus, it's the cheapest form of water. They've got all the statistics on how inexpensive this is with the unit. Also, I want to tell you about My Solar Backup. Have you lost your power and wanted to simply flip a switch to get the lights back on? If so, you should check out MySolarBackup.com, because there's never been a better time to start getting off the grid and generate your own supply of electrical power. Here's why. Plug-and-play solar generators are now available from Solutions from Science. They've been available for about 2 years. Our listeners love them. These portable power systems need no installation and supply household current whenever you need it, producing electricity from the sun, directly from it. Unlike gas generators, a solar generator runs quietly and emits no fumes. It's like having your own electric power plant is perfect for your home or your campsite. Whether it's hurricanes, ice storms, blackouts, or brownouts, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. So go to solarbackup.com to request a free information package today. That's mysolarbackup.com, or give them a call, 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. mysolarbackup.com, and, of course, EcolaBlue.com. Okay, going back to Michael Badnarik. Michael, I mean, you were dead for 10 minutes. You were in a coma for 2 weeks. I mean, it's just so good to have you here, because we all just expect our friends and our colleagues, people we admire, to be here forever. But I agree with you. I realize how transitory life is. There's been a few times in my life I've almost been killed. And in a way, it makes me be less fearful about death to just know it's coming. And obviously, you're going to be here for a long time. I hope at some level you take it easy sometimes. But I know in a way, you'll live to be 100 if you just keep fighting. But I guess so it's kind of a catch-22. But it's just so good to have you here with us, my friend.
Well, it is good to be here. As a skydiving instructor, I know that life is transitory. We have to take advantage of every moment that we are here. And I highly recommend that you talk to your family, your friends, and tell them how much you love them. Tell them how important they are in your life, because you don't know when either they will, disappear, or when you will. And the same is true for fighting for liberty. Don't postpone it. Don't do it next week, or I'll go and get a power generator next month, or when it's more convenient. Do it now. We've got to get
I'll go to a gun rally next year. I'll go to city council and tell them, don't bring in UN-run carbon taxes. No, you got to do it now, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. Now, while you're still alive, while you still have the energy. And it was my love of liberty that brought me back. It was a little bit like I've been practicing football, and now, right before the Super Bowl, I'm going to, cash in my chips. There's no way. Alex, I love you, but I'm not going to let you fight for liberty all by yourself. I just had to be here and help you out.
Well, you're a classy guy, my friend, and you get better like fine wine as the years go. I mean, the great presentations, the constitutional classes you give. Are you going to be giving any of those in the future?
Absolutely. I'm kind of keeping it close to home as I recover. I'll be teaching a class in Farmers Branch here in Dallas on March 6th. I'm coming to Austin on March 13th, and I'll be in Fort Worth on March 20th. So anywhere here in Texas, you can go to my website, constitutionpreservation.org, to find out more information. My phone number's there. Just give me a call. I'd love to have,
Well, Michael, I'm not going to tell you take it easy, because I've read the statistics where a lot of people have a heart attack, they take it easy, and then they die. It seems to be those that do keep doing stuff that, that recover, because the body recognizes that. Sometimes you have a heart attack, and the body says, well, it's time to check out. So obviously you're doing the right thing here, but take it easy a little bit, bro. I mean, you just came out of a coma. How many weeks ago?
It was about a month now. It was early January, and I was in the hospital for an additional 2 weeks. When I finally opened my eyes, my best friend was there, and he said, "Do you know who you are?" And I thought, well, that's pretty condescending. Of course I know who I am. and he says, "Do you know what day it is?" And I was supposed to give a speech on December 21st, and so I'm thinking, well, I don't know, maybe December 22nd. And he says, "It is January 6th. Right. I said, 2010? He goes, yeah. And so it was a little bit like discovering that you're adopted after you're 50 years old. I mean, it was just a shock. I mean, I had to sit there and evaluate that and go, wow. I said, I missed Christmas. He said, yeah, you missed New Year's too. So it was very serious, and I am again thankful to everybody who showed their concern. I've still got get well cards that I really haven't had time to open, but the most important thing is that I am back. I am back with a vengeance, and I'm getting back on the Liberty Trail as of March 6th.
Well, that's certainly fantastic, Michael, but at the same time I was told that these heart problems run in the family.
They do. Both of my grandfathers died early of heart attacks. Mom has had a quadruple bypass. My youngest brother has had a pacemaker for 20 years. And so the only solution really would be for me to select different parents at this late date. I don't think that's possible. One of the reasons that I've recovered so quickly is because I was taking such good care of myself beforehand, taking the fish oil, taking the vitamin C, avoiding red meat. I'd have a good steak every once in a while, but eating fish and chicken and salad, and doing the exercise. So it was all of that nutrition beforehand that allowed me to bounce back so quickly.
Absolutely. So much is genetics. Now, I want to go over an article here because I said I would do this yesterday and I didn't really do it. And it's as if the heavens have opened up and dropped lightning bolts on us, but the lightning bolts bounce off at every level. Dirty tricks, COINTELPRO, national media, local media, attacking me specifically, but also others who are standing up for liberty because they're scared now. They tried to ignore us before, but 2 different Newsweek articles attacking me and others in just the last week. There's a big quasi-hit piece coming out this week in it's a featured story in Texas Monthly, so I'm wondering what that's going to be like. But the issue is we're drawing their fire. That means we're having an effect. And maybe it's not going to be a hit piece. I haven't read it yet. But the point is, Paul Watson wrote a counter article to this yesterday. It's up on prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com. Newsweek. Powerful people do bad things. Too silly to discuss. That's an actual quote. And the article's titled, that's our counter article, titled, Know Your Conspiracy Theories. And I want to show people a document cam shot. And I'm going to go over these and just get you to respond. And they mix in a few silly ones to try to give weight to this. Now, number 2, they say man-made global warming is a hoax. Anthropogenic global warming is a hoax. And they go on to say there is no story, there is no climate gate, it doesn't exist, it's completely insane. Even as, look at this document cam shot, folks. If you're a radio listener, go pull it up. U-turn is scientists at center of row or argument admits there has been no global warming since 95. Globally, with the UN, with over 100 universities, they concertedly fudge the numbers. They've now been caught. He now admits it because he knows he's facing criminal prosecution. Here's another one. The continuing climate meltdown. Here's another one. Science blogger finds errors in Met Office climate change records. It's every facility lying. Warming meltdown. It goes on and on. And then what's the answer from Newsweek? It's as if a 10-year-old wrote this saying, my daddy can beat up your daddy. I mean, or as if saying that the sun doesn't come up in the morning. They just say it doesn't exist and that our claim that a global government is being established through this doesn't exist. That's what the UN said at Copenhagen. I mean, how dumb do they think we are to say, know your conspiracies, guide to today's trendiest, hippest, and least likely fringe beliefs. And it's full of just mainline stuff. I mean, don't they know this is political suicide? Or are they just speaking to their tiny audience they've got left as their circulation plummets across the board?